Welcome to Tehachapi. Sit back and relax as Key Budge and Corey Costello talk about things that are happening in and around Tehachapi. Here's Corey and Key.
We want to welcome everyone to another episode of Tehachapi. I'm Key Budge. Greg Garrett, Corey Costello, they are out on assignment, so they are out and about, and it's just me in the studio, but we've got several special guests that are representing the Saracoso Foundation, so we're excited to have them in. Lauren Falk, I want to start with you. So welcome to the show, first of all.
Thank you so much for having us back. We're really excited to be here.
Our last conversation, we were talking about the foundation, and we had a Tehachapi resident who's a board member and a part of our Saracoso footprint here in Tehachapi, and I'm so excited to have Lydia as a part of that conversation. And you and I were talking, I said, we got to make sure we bring in a student to talk about their experiences, because that is what really helps resonate with people when they start to hear the success stories. And we're going to be able to do that today.
Yeah, so actually we might be able to do that twice. We have two students on the line with us, both local in the Tehachapi, Cal City area. So we're very excited to have them here and share their stories. The two board members that we've brought on to the podcast episode today also have some great stories to share themselves. One of our board members who's joining us is a Saracoso alumni of ours and just joined the board last year to try and give back. And so we're really excited to have the opportunity to speak with you guys again and bring some of these personal impact stories to the community, because I think it's really important to kind of make that real life connection. And as the foundation, looks to increase support amongst the community for the work that we do for our local students, particularly during the holiday season, we, really appreciate the opportunity to share with you today. So thank you for having us, and we're excited to talk to you.
It's important because the Saracoso footprint has grown so much here in Tehachapi, and then regionally in Cal City and Edwards and everywhere where you've got these satellite campuses. And now with COVID, it's like I'm actually a student at Saracoso right now. I'm taking an online class and enjoying it. I've gone back to school just for the fun of it. But oh my God, it's been such a great positive experience, how it's been put together, how well it's been run. It just speaks volumes of the amount of work that goes in behind the scenes, because me on the receiving end, I'm pretty happy. I've done online classes before and can't say the same thing elsewhere. So, first off, let me say that the school is doing a great job. So the foundation, who benefits from this? Tell us briefly, if you can, Lauren. Let's kind of recap in case someone didn't catch our last episode. The foundation looks out for the student.
Of course. So our foundation supports Saracoso students across our service area and in a variety of ways. Some of the bigger programs that we support so scholarships are very important. We have a large scholarship program right now called the Saracoso Promise. It is a scholarship for full-time students who are working towards their degree for transfer or to go directly into the workforce. It's a newer scholarship program, just started in the last few years. And so that is one of our biggest priorities, is to get more students enrolled at the community college level to finish that associate's degree or certificate on time at a low cost without being saddled with all that debt that you get going right to a 4-year. So we want these students to succeed. We also have a number of programs we support related to academic achievement, the biggest ones being our honors program students and the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society. We fund students to present research at national conferences. They travel to these conferences. A world of scholarship opportunities open up to them that would not be there otherwise. And so we are able to provide membership costs. We provide research funds. We help fund their way to these conferences when they can present their research. And it really opens up a whole other world for their educational achievement opportunities. And then, we also support the faculty and staff at Saracoso. You just talked about how you're taking an online class and it's going well for you. I'm so glad to hear that, because I can tell you that our faculty and staff have been working tirelessly since March, since COVID hit us really hard, to make sure that our students can stay on track and that they can provide a meaningful experience. And so, the foundation has been helping students during this time of COVID as well, where we can. We have out in Ridgecrest right now, we're looking to expand, but currently in Ridgecrest, a hunger-free campus program. And so we've been doing drive-bys for families. They can come get grocery cards, get essential items and such. And we've seen that need really increase during the past 7 to 8 months. So, we've been asking for community support to help feed these students and their families who want to try and continue their education but are struggling financially, like a lot of folks are in the area. And so we really do, fund a variety of activities for both students and also programs for staff and faculty that kind of contribute to a well-rounded approach that keeps Saracoso going. And we are just so proud of our students. We're so proud of our alumni. We have the new mayor of Ridgecrest is actually Eric Bruin. He's an alumni of ours. He actually just shared a wonderful story last month with us, and he just talked about the huge impact that his Saracoso education had on both his career path and his personal life. And so it's just so great to see these folks really doing big things. And so, yeah, we support our students in a variety of ways, and we're really looking to kind of increase our support amongst community members, particularly in the Tehachapi and Cal City area.
Yeah, it's so positive. And we've got a couple of students that we get to talk to. So, Eric, we're going to come to you in just a second, but I want to start with Alexia Zveda. You are the past president of the board of directors here for the foundation. So you've seen a change. How does this change what we've gone through in 2020? What are the impacts that you've seen to the foundation, maybe to the students in some of these programs? Can you talk about how the foundation's been making adjustments from your tenure as president to where we're headed in the next year?
Lauren really addressed what I think is probably the greatest need, and that is, so often we are in rural and underserved areas. Let's say you've made it into college, maybe you got a scholarship, maybe you didn't. Now you've got the question of, am I going to spend money on food or am I going to spend money on classes? And being able to support those students with food needs, that's huge, because we don't want them to make that decision. We want to do everything we can to enable our students to reach the goals that they want and need to reach. It's amazing to me what all we can do with the funds that we've got at the foundation. It can even go so far as you're going to school, you're a new mom. I now need to decide between buying diapers for my baby or paying for my books. We're there to pick up on that and say, okay, here's the money for the diapers and some money for the books. Let's make sure you get your education.
Because all the funds that come from the foundation are private dollars. They come from the community, those that donate. So it gives you guys the opportunity to identify those that are truly in need, and then take care of them through these sponsorships, through these the community, whether it's businesses or the individuals that say, hey, yeah, I want to make sure that we're helping, and you guys help isolate and say, yes, this is someone that actually can benefit from this generous gift or sponsorship, if you will.
Right. And bottom line, why do we exist? It's because of the students. That's why we're there. So we want to make sure that they are successful.
I want to invite Eric Warda in. You are a a former student from Saracoso, and you've got a story you've shared that being a part of this community college that's originally based in Ridgecrest, but you have an experience through the Tehachapi. Our Tehachapi location. Tell us, first, welcome to the show, and then tell us a little bit about your experience and journey at Saracoso through our Tehachapi satellite branch.
Well, thank you, Key. I can remember Saracoso once it started their classes back in 2016. They opened their campus and they were doing their very first English 101 and math courses for general education. And that's where I did my general education. And if it wasn't for Saracoso, I don't think I would be as far ahead as I am. I remember 4 years ago, there was a bunch of high school students who were really competitive, and they would, try and outdo each other and see how many college classes they could do. And I do think that these college courses are just as good as advanced AP courses, because at the end of the day, you're getting the college credit and you're, proving that you can do college level work. It makes a tremendous difference to the community, especially when you're into a rural area.
With you being in Tehachapi, the area, your career choice, you were able to find courses that helped you go into this career that you want to venture into?
Yeah, I did. I took biology, I took English 101, all the general education courses. All the courses I needed to complete to go into the nursing program essentially were completed at Saracoso. the exception of a few science courses.
Being able to do this here at home in Tehachapi, do you kind of realize the impact that has, or the how it took an impact away of maybe having to commute to a school, whether it be to the Ridgecrest campus or to Bakersfield or to the Antelope Valley, by being able to stay close to home and save on that commute time?
Yeah, that's a tremendous benefit as well with Circle. So you can take a lot of your courses online, and you don't have to attend the location because it's distance learning. A lot of your general education can be completed online.
So Genesis, let me ask you, you're a former student also, you're an alumni, you're now on the board of directors. What brought you back to say, hey, I want to be on the board of directors here for the foundation?
Hi, Key. Great question. And thanks for the opportunity to be here today. So I graduated in 99, just a couple of years ago from Saracoso. And like the others have shared, it really just made such a difference in my life, having the ability to get an education and having it here locally and having it be affordable for my family and I at the time. So coming back here in town and looking for ways to give back and support our community, I couldn't think of a better way than one that actually supports directly the education of folks across the region. It really is such a joy and a pleasure for all the reasons that Lauren, Alexia, and Eric just mentioned. We get to reach people in so many different ways. And I think most importantly, in the very practical ways, sometimes like Alexia shared, just meeting their basic needs with food and other things. But this year, our theme for the season, I should say, is give the gift of education. And so we want to make sure that we get that message out to folks as well as part of this podcast, that for me, getting to be a part of the board, I feel like every time we get together and every time we're meeting stuff like this, it's one small way that I can give back and in some ways help give that gift of education to others.
It's funny how we can come full circle, and you kind of come back, and it's like you start out with something, and I can guarantee you back in the late 90s, you weren't thinking about coming back in any way, shape, or form. But then when you do, and you come back to the community and you see something that you can be involved in and say, hey, I can help. I understand what these students are going with and are going through. And there are opportunities where you're able to say, hey, let's make sure we're going in that positive direction where we can help these kids.
Yeah, that's right. Our mission for the board is summarized basically in 3 words. It's access, success, and excellence. And frankly, just do things and have the career that I could have never, ever even imagined had I not had that chance to go to Saracoso. So the access, I think success, being successful is so good for everyone in our community. When one person's successful, it makes us all successful. And then that excellence, just being the best version of ourselves individually and a community, to learn and to be able to be the best version of yourself. And that's again what the mission is all about.
Genesis, can you repeat those? Was it the 3 goals or points? We had a little bit of an audio issue, so I missed it.
I'm sorry.
Excellence, and what were the things that you had mentioned?
Sure. It was success. I'm sorry, access, success, and excellence.
Perfect.
Hopefully that came through this time.
It did. I heard it this time.
Okay.
The last time it was it came across a little bit of audio interference. Eric, as Genesis was explaining that, you were nodding along saying, yes, that those are important things. And did they factor in for you as you went through your Saracoso journey? Did you have any interaction with the foundation as a student?
I remember Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society. I'm not sure if that's related, but I think the foundation is connected to them.
Yeah, Eric, you're correct. We do support Phi Theta Kappa, so perfect.
So how was that with you? What was your experience with that?
Well, everyone was very helpful and friendly, and it was a great opportunity, especially for students who are just starting their college experience. It's a fantastic opportunity.
Excellent. Alexia, let me come back to you. Now, sitting with you, and the audience can't see that, but your daughter is joined us here, and she's giving you support along the way. But if I remember correctly, someone told me that she is a student at Saracoso currently.
She is. And
Can you introduce her?
I'll let her speak to that, but let me introduce her. Her name is Nadia. Hello.
I had no idea.
And we decided to homeschool. She is concurrently enrolled. At the end of the semester, she will have enough credits to basically say she's finished her freshman year. As a mom, I am just loving that this is going to be saving us money because she's applying for universities as we speak.
Well, and one of the really wonderful things about Saracosa, especially online, is because that's, in my situation, that's the easiest for me, is that I was able to take courses that were more challenging, but in an environment where if I needed help, I could get it. And it really kind of broadened my horizons. And I was, after that first concurrently enrolled class, there was kind of a realization of, oh, I can succeed in college and in university. So that was really big for me.
So it gave you a boost of confidence. You were able to say, okay, I can do this.
Yes.
How old were you when you started the concurrent enrollment?
I was 17.
No,
Or no, sorry, I was 16. I almost 17.
Yeah.
Last spring semester, or no, spring semester of 2019.
So if there's some students out there that are in high school, 'cause to me, this is one of my favorite programs that the school has, is this concurrent enrollment. I think it's just incredible that you can be motivated to start that next level of education while you're in high school. What led you down that path? Why did you say or tell your folks that, hey, I want to try this?
Actually, my parents did bring it to my attention. It was just kind of a, do you want to consider doing this kind of thing? And I decided I did because some of the, I've been taking all of my high school courses online. Excellent courses, yes, but there were just a broader array of subjects at Saracosa, things like anthropology, basic psychology, that kind of thing that I was really interested in taking. And again, I wanted to see, hey, can I succeed in doing this? And it was just an opportunity that I thought, I want to take this opportunity. And I ended up finding, because, those classes are more in depth, I like learning, I like school, but I ended up really enjoying, like really getting into it because I was seeing all these new facets to subjects that I was taking. So
it's different. The college level learning and the way that you go about it is completely different than high school. At least that's the way I remember. It's like you go through high school and then all of a sudden you get to, I went to junior college and I went to JC and I was like, wow, this is not like, I just stepped from 12th grade into 13th grade. This is like, no, this is a whole nother life experience and the way it was presented. So was it similar the way I just explained my experience of going from high school to junior college, even though you were in high school, doing high school level classes and then adding this to it? Did you feel that there was a difference in the learning process?
I would like to say yes, but I don't think caveat is quite the right word, but when the online courses that I was taking, I wasn't actually interacting with other students like I would be if I was in a high school classroom, just in that academic setting. And it was really different for me to be taking part in discussions and having, oh, hey, this is interesting. Let's talk about this. It was a lot more adult, I suppose, than I would expect to find in, say, a high school classroom. So it was just a lot more, hey, we're here to learn about this. I imagine in a high school classroom, it'd be a little bit more of an element of, we're in high school. So that's not the case at Saracosa.
Excellent. Eric, let me come back to you. Did you do any concurrent classes while did you go to Tehachapi High School?
I went to Valley Oaks Charter School.
Okay. So when you
I did do concurrent enrollment classes.
I'm sorry, did you say yes or no, you didn't?
No, I went to Valley Oaks Charter School.
Okay. Sorry.
And I started taking college classes in ninth grade, the second semester of ninth grade, and then I just continued until I graduated. I think there's like a maximum of credits you can take, but just maxing out on the credits will save you a ton of money. I mean, for high school students especially.
Now, are you currently going to Cal State Bakersfield, or you've already finished your Cal State time?
No, I go to Cal State Bakersfield right now.
Excellent. So you transferred over the maximum amount of transferable credits to Cal State?
Yeah, that's right. 70 units. Yep.
I absolutely love that because I did the same thing, but when I went to Cal State Northridge, I went over and I took everything I could at JC to pay JC dollars instead of paying university dollars for the same class. So I appreciate your journey through that. Now, what was your experience then once you went over to Cal State? Did you kind of miss being a Saracoso and being at home taking classes, and then all of a sudden you're down in Bakersfield? I mean, that's, again, I'm kind of circling back to driving away from your home to have to go to get your education, and the importance of what this Tehachapi campus can offer our local students.
Right. I did miss Saracoso. I mean, it's a good community there. You get to know everyone, and it's very individualized. The classes also at Cal State Bakersfield are very similar to the ones at Saracoso. You kind of get a good introduction of what you're going to see when you get into a four-year university. I did go to a nursing program before I went to Cal State Bakersfield. It took 2 years for me to get through that. Yeah, and then I could transition back, and then now I'm, fully online right now because of COVID.
70 units that you were able to take at Saracoso, that's 2.5 years of your standard, taking it semester by semester or quarter by quarter. That's 2.5 years worth of work that you were able to save. It's a lot of dollars. It's a lot of miles not driven. It's a lot of hours of commute time that you were able to keep into your own personal life.
Right. Yeah.
So Lauren, let me come to you with it, because I as I mentioned, I absolutely love the concurrent enrollment program, and you get success story after success story through the college, and the foundations involved, with the students, and you're always bragging. When I see the newsletter, we're bragging on these students, and we do so well out of Cal City, Tehachapi. These are, and I call it satellite campuses, and I don't know if that's the correct word that you guys like to use, but for me, it's a satellite campus. And my goodness, I love seeing these success stories.
Yeah, we love sharing them. And it's been an interesting year. We obviously have seen, so many challenges that we did not foresee. And like many other nonprofit organizations, the foundation, we have obviously been all remote, all virtual, pretty much since March. And so we are, also trying to find unique ways to engage with the community. We cannot host, the annual events that we would be hosting. We used to do, kind of fundraisers and get-togethers in the Tehachapi area, and just not being able to do any of that. We're really trying to increase our storytelling power online. So that includes, our email list, our Instagram, our Facebook are the three mediums that we're using right now. We also, share more widely on community message boards and such when we can. I would, encourage everyone to check out our website. It's very easy. It's saracoso.edu/foundation. From there, we have links. You can follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook. You can sign up for our email list, and that way you can see all of these stories as we release them. We're, spending a lot of this month and next month sharing these motivational stories from our students, faculty, and staff, because we really do want to encourage our community to give the gift of education this holiday season. I should mention before we end this in a little bit, because I don't want to forget, our big push right now is Giving Tuesday. Giving Tuesday is an international day of giving. It's the Tuesday after Thanksgiving every year. It's gotten pretty big in recent years. So Tuesday, December 1st, and Saracoso is participating. So we're promoting this throughout the month, and we're asking, $5, $10, every little bit counts, but if you can give the gift of education this holiday season, please visit us online, saracoso.edu/foundation. We have a giving page. We'll be ready to go on December 1st, or if you want to get a jump start, like I said, we'll be sharing these stories widely, and we really hope to get the community more involved. And we hope next year, if we see, the things get better and things can open up again, we really, really look forward to holding events again and being back on campus and bringing everyone back together. But for now, we are doing what we can to spread the word remotely, like a lot of folks are right now. So really appreciate the opportunity to come back to this podcast, because I thought it was really important that we brought in some of our students to really share these stories and make that personal connection to members of the community. Because, at the end of the day, a lot of these students will return as working adults to the community and give back to, to the fabric of the society, not only economically, but socially. And so it's a really good thing all around that we're doing. And we just want to get as many folks as we can to join us in our mission.
It's one thing that I definitely see being here in Tehachapi is the amount of students that we have that go to college and they finish their journey somewhere and they go out of town. But so many of them come back. And I'm sure I've heard the stories on Ridgecrest as well. So I know that this eastern part of Kern County, the experience that I think that you get, and then as you're developing as a young adult, and then once you experience world in a big city, it's like, I kind of miss that atmosphere of whether it's small town America, because so many important things happen here, but our pace is a little bit different. You know, if I've got to go to LA, oh my gosh, I can hardly wait to get back. And I know that my son, who's in his mid-20s, he feels the same way. It's like, oh my gosh, I love what we have. So this circle, you know, as we complete the circle and people are coming back, like, you know, Genesis, I mean, that's part of your story of, you know, growing up and then coming back, and you in the business community, and then you want to be a part of this Saracosa Foundation so you can continue to give. I think that's just speaks volumes for the level of integrity that this institution has. So let me congratulate you all for being a part of it and being willing to share your stories. I really appreciate that.
Thank you so much for having us today. Yeah. And we appreciate it. We hope to be back again sometime next year.
Oh, you definitely, you know what, Lauren, you've got an open invitation. So
really appreciate that.
You know,
we always have great things to talk about. So we welcome an opportunity anytime.
And we want to continue the conversation and keep Saracosa in people's names and parents' names. And we've got so many new people that are moving here to our community from outside the area. So they need to hear about the experiences, and it comes from our students that share these stories and experiences where it starts to resonate as a parent. And I think then you say, yeah, this is something that I want to make sure that I at least offer this opportunity to my child as they make their choices as young adults, you know, that this is something that's, it's very valuable. So again, I want to hit the Giving Tuesday again. I know you mentioned it, Lauren, but it's an International Day of Giving. So we're going to hear it talk about Day of Giving, but we want to make sure that people think if they're going to open up their checkbooks, that we think about this foundation that helps students. And I think, Alexia, you put it perfectly about making sure that people don't go hungry, you know, and you identifying students in need, whatever it is, whether it's the diapers or the books. And then you can help, maybe it's on the both ends, but you identify students in need. And this is where this money goes to in one of the programs that you guys offer.
And sometimes it's just having that scholarship is what enables you to be able to take those classes. You know, we want local talent. We want to retain that local talent. We're growing it right here. This is we're not just giving to students, really, we're giving to our entire community.
Love it. Let me ask, Nadia, do you have anything that you want to share if there's a student listening that you'd say, give Saracosa that opportunity?
I think any high school student that, you know, wants to, you know, they're in high school and they're taking general classes and they think, you know what, I want to try something that maybe will is a little more in depth, or is maybe a little more challenging, or even can give me an opportunity to prepare for a higher education. Saracosa is the perfect place to do that because the teachers there are excellent. The courses there are excellent. There are lots of resources. If you need help with something, there will be someone there to help you. For me, I ended up taking these courses instead of AP courses because I thought they you know, after looking at everything, I thought that they were better. So, you know, to that high school student, I would say, go the Saracosa route.
Eric, and then how about for you in closing? I know you're getting ready to venture into this nursing career, but I think that's so cool because we've got, especially with what we've gone on this past year, we can't have enough good qualified people enter this field. So, and you started it right here at Saracosa.
Yeah, that's right. All the prerequisites, I mean, the majority of them were through Saracosa. I wouldn't have gotten into the program if it wasn't for Saracosa. So it is a competitive field, and doing something like Saracosa is definitely for your benefit.
And Genesis, in closing, you circling back, I know I've mentioned a couple of times, but I think that just speaks volumes of what the school and the foundation are all about. In closing, is there anything that you'd like to share maybe to the business community or someone who's thinking about writing a check is in a position where they can help with a donation?
You know, as Lauren shared, there's been so many people that have come upon hard times this year with COVID. And if you're not one of those people and you happen to be in a good financial place, we would really ask that you would consider giving. The return on investment cannot be measured. So as a business person, or even just someone in the community who was able to keep their job this year and was fortunate enough to do that, and fortunate enough to be planning holidays with friends and family, great. That is awesome. Someone else might not be in that same situation. And so, as Lauren said, just as we come upon the holidays and thinking about joy and hope and peace and all those things that we wish for ourselves and each other, we would ask, if you want to make a truly lifelong investment in something, this is definitely it. We're so excited about it. There's so many different things that we're looking forward to doing in the next year. COVID or not, we're doing great things, and it's really all thanks to our students and our faculty who are making it happen.
Lauren, in closing, let's make sure we share the contact information where people can go, because I'm hoping that we created a little bit of energy and we get a little buzz for this, and that where can people reach out to help?
This is really simple. Our webpage will have everything you need, saracoso.edu/foundation. So right on our homepage, we have Instagram, Facebook links, and you can sign up for our email list. We also have our donation button right on there. And going back to something you said before, I will mention really quick about the donation. The cool thing is our donors can choose which programs they want to donate to. You may want to just donate to our general fund, which means that we look at our priorities and decide where the money is needed most at that time. You can also donate directly to the Promise Scholarship Program. You can donate directly to Honors and Phi Theta Kappa. You can donate directly to Hunger Free. So if you have, if potential donors have their own passions within education, you can really put your money where you think it'll matter the most. So we do give donors a lot of options in that sense, which I think is very valuable. So everything can be found right at saracoso.edu/foundation.
That makes it easy. Well, Alexia, Nadia, Genesis, Eric, and Lauren, I want to thank you all for taking the time and joining us here on Tehachapi. We appreciate the conversation, and hopefully we motivate some students to give Saracoso that opportunity, and those that are in need, they know the foundation's there for them. But more importantly, for those of us that are in the community and have a chance to maybe help somebody, Giving Tuesday is December 1st, and we want you to keep Saracoso Foundation in mind, because they do great work with these students.
Thank you so much.
You're listening to Tehachapi.
We close out another episode of Tehachapi. Corey, I know you didn't get a chance to join in on the conversation with Lauren Falk and the members of the Saracoso Foundation, but we got to listen to two students, an alumni member, and I guess me, because I was a third. I actually taken a class online.
That's true, right.
But what they're doing with Giving Tuesday and what their organization does for college students in Eastern Kern. Mm-hmm. So in Tehachapi, and we saw Eric talk about his successes going to the Tehachapi campus, and now he's about to venture into the nursing field very soon with a job offer that he has. And then with Nadia, the things that she's doing as a student, it's such an important thing, I think, that we need to make sure that we continue to share and talk about, because they do great work.
Yeah, it's important to really show that student piece and that result, because I have a little experience in this in the past, but it's easy to say, okay, we want to offer, let's say, just throw a number out there, $1 million worth of scholarship. So we need $1 million. Okay, well that's a good goal to have, but it really encourages people to give when they see the results. Whether that's a student who, especially one who's graduated and has turned that into a success in the community, because your biggest goal when you are raising, whether it's kids or you're just trying to help raise a community, is you want people to be contributing members of society. And how do you do that? Well, they need support sometimes. Some of them are able to get it done in-house. Others need that extra help. So that's the important part, when you really put that student face on it and show what the results are of the gifts that people give. And so it's super important to do that. And I'm glad they have such great success stories to share at Saracoso.
Well, and just a reminder, Giving Tuesday is the first Tuesday in December, which will be December 1st this year. And whether you are listening to this podcast before then or after, the foundation always has different ways that you can help them out. So continue to reach out to the foundation, and you go through the Saracoso website and then click on the foundation button. Also, we've got other things that are going on here in the Tehachapi area, Corey. We want people to shop local. Mm-hmm. It's something that we really want to hit hard, even harder than we've done in the past. In past years, we've said, hey, shop local. But this year, it has a bigger meaning.
Yeah, it does, really, on a couple of fronts. We're combining some of our previous sort of campaigns during the holiday season Last year it was focusing on our low sales tax rate and how you save money shopping here as opposed to somewhere else, a larger community, 40 minutes away. And a couple of years before that, we were really encouraging folks to buy one gift from a small business. Now we're sort of giving that message across the board. Shopping at a big box store local is helpful and important because that sales tax money stays here, it goes back into your community, and it also keeps your friends and neighbors employed. And then on top of that, buying that one gift, that one special gift that you can't find in a big box store on Amazon at one of our local downtown or whatever small businesses, that's out there too. We want to encourage folks to do that this year, especially given the hardships of COVID. And you can find a way to, and that's the other beauty too. You don't have to go to the larger stores where there's a lot of crowds. They might be doing crowd control, this many people in the store, that kind of thing. You have a little bit more elbow room, so to speak, to shop at some of these smaller places. And we've had a little bit of a change downtown with some of those in the last couple of years. And there's some great offerings for people trying to find a unique gift. And so really that challenge is out there to do a lot of your large shopping local, but also buy that one gift from the small business and try to, be unique and support them.
So while you're shopping local, also take in the holiday decorations. Mm-hmm. We've put up our Christmas tree over at the depot. We did that earlier than we've ever done it before because we want to get that holiday cheer and a reason to come downtown, whether it's to take that family photo in front of the tree or just take in some colorful lights. We want to be supportive of holiday lights and decorating.
And on top of that, speaking of the earliest ever, I switched the music on the downtown speakers to Christmas music the other day. Earliest I've ever done it, but I think that's ever been done. So I think we've got it on Christmas classics now. Your favorites from Bing Crosby and the gang. I don't know who else is on that channel, but
when I was walking out the door yesterday, it was the Grinch song
there you go.
that came on. I was looking up at the speaker and I was like, wow, I haven't heard that song in a year.
Yeah.
but it was actually nice to see as people are starting to decorate, and let's change the mood. We can't control some of the things that are going on in our world right now. One thing that we can control is maybe putting out a little bit more holiday spirit.
Sure. Absolutely.
And there's some that need it more than others. So if we can provide that, I think that's something I want to encourage, and that's what catapulted our decorating contest and asking people to participate in putting up holiday lights at their home and their businesses around town.
Yeah, it's amazing how many people have done that already. I'm sure this weekend coming up and the weekend of Thanksgiving is going to be even more. And so I'm going to try to do it a little early in my house, take advantage of the sunlight. Because it was warm last weekend, so I decided to do a little bit, and this weekend I'll probably do it in the normal temperature, which is kind of a hovering in the 40 degrees range, Right. But that's all part of the process.
So we'd love to invite you to participate in this decorating contest we're doing. The Loop has come on board, so has the Kern County Library, Tehachapi branch, and Love Tehachapi. We're all working together in this collaboration to include all of Tehachapi, not just the city, but Golden Hills, Bear Valley, and Stallion Springs. And we want everyone to decorate their homes. We've got one church that's decorating and entered the contest. Oh. We've got multiple businesses that have taken the challenge, and they're taking it personal. That's like the competitiveness is ramping up. But for those like myself that are just going to have some lights out, but I'm going to share my address so that way people can drive by, take in the holiday lights. I'm not going to win any contests, but I want to be a part of the parade of lights.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be cool. I think I've seen so many people in my neighborhood early, and there's some pretty big displays that have popped up. I don't know if they're in the contest or not, but they probably should be. It's pretty impressive to see that already this early, and I can't imagine what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks before we really get into that kind of Christmas light season.
So send me an email if you would like to have your address listed to the Parade of Lights and to be entered in the contest. It's kbudge, BUDGE, at TehachapiCityHall.com, or you can send it to media@TehachapiCityHall.com, and we'll get you added to the list.
Absolutely. One more thing I want to bring up was just, we've talked about it briefly in the past. We should probably really dedicate more of a show to it. But the American Viticultural Area, AVA, as you probably heard that term thrown around, the Bureau of Tax and Alcohol and the U.S. Bureau of Tax and Alcohol, they've changed it. Yeah. Anyway, they have announced that the Tehachapi AVA has been approved, which means basically in 30 days, once it kind of rests for 30 days, the local wineries here in Tehachapi, in the Tehachapi area, can start stamping Tehachapi Mountains on their bottles. So no longer will they just say California. It'll actually say Tehachapi on the bottle, which puts them up there with, Sonoma, Napa, Paso Robles, just some of the few I can think of in this area, in this state. So really cool. I mean, this is not an easy process. I mean, literally an act of Congress via the federal government. It's taken many, many years. And the Wine Growers Association here in Tehachapi has spearheaded that effort, and it's official now. And I'm really excited about that. It's been a lot of work from a lot of different people.
Well, that'll be cool. The day that I can go into Bevmo and I can see the Paso Robles wines, the Santa Barbara wines, and the Tehachapi Mountain wines have its own section.
Yeah, and I'll just stand there and kind of like talk trash about the Paso Robles wines. I'll stand there and like tell people, no, you want this one Tehachapi. Just like I do with the Washington apples versus Tehachapi apples, it's the same thing. You don't want those. No, you want the Tehachapi apples. Same with the wine. You want the Tehachapi wine. But it does depend on and we the climate and what we grow, and we have very good soil for a certain type of grape. And so it'll be good to see where I know they're award winning. A lot of wineries have won awards, and so now to have that distinction on the bottle is going to be cool, because then it really just piques that interest of people like where is Tehachapi if they're not sure. They do a little research, and it's a good tourism driver as well. So I'm super excited about that. And I'm sure we can do more about it on a future show here in the near future.
Absolutely. We'll get some of those our local wine growers on.
Mm-hmm.
And then also a reminder, the Rotary Club's 12 Days of Christmas. We want to support that. We had a conversation with Rhonda Brady and Chris Naftel, and you can go to the Rotary Club of Tehachapi to get the list of the 12 days items. These boxes of food, canned and boxed foods, are going to go to seniors, people that would be on Meals on Wheels. So we're going to be helping some needy people here in Tehachapi with this program. So take a look for that. We also have it on our Facebook as well. If there's anything that you'd like us to talk about, shoot us an email, media@tehachapicityhall.com. We look forward to hearing what you have to say. And we look forward to talking to you again soon on a future episode of Tehachapod.
Tehachapod is a conversation about Tehachapi designed for the people who live here or who would like to know more about this mountaintop community. If you have a question you would like answered, email media@tehachapicityhall.com. We will try to answer it on a future episode of Tehachapod.